Do this when life gets hard. 8 Stoic strategies to stay strong in tough situations. Life. It's a journey filled with both triumphs and tribulations. It's in those moments of hardship when we're faced with adversity that our true character is tested. How do we respond when life throws its inevitable curveballs? Do we crumble under pressure, or do we rise to the occasion, stronger and wiser? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers a powerful framework for navigating life's challenges with resilience and grace. It teaches us that while we may not always be able to control what happens to us, we always have control over how we respond. In this video, we'll explore 8 timeless Stoic strategies that can help you stay strong and find peace, even in the midst of life's storms. Chapter 1. Reframing Our Perspective. The world is rarely what it seems. What we see as insurmountable obstacles are often opportunities in disguise. The Stoics understood this, recognizing that our perception shapes our reality. It's not about denying the difficulties we face, but rather about choosing to view them through a different lens. A lens of growth, of learning, of possibility. Imagine, for instance, a setback in your career. Instead of seeing it as a defeat, what if you saw it as a chance to reassess your goals, to learn new skills, or to explore a different path? This shift in perspective, this reframing of our thoughts, is the key to transforming adversity into advantage. It's about finding the good in the bad, the opportunity in the obstacle. Remember, it's not about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our reactions, and using them to create a more empowering narrative. Because ultimately, it's not what happens to us that defines us, but how we choose to respond. Chapter 2. Strengthening the Inner Self. True strength, the Stoics believed, comes not from physical prowess or external validation, but from within. It's about cultivating an inner citadel, a fortress of the mind that can withstand any storm. This inner strength is built on a foundation of self-awareness, self-discipline, and self-control. It's about understanding our thoughts and emotions, and learning to master them, rather than being ruled by them. Think of it like training for a marathon. It requires dedication, perseverance, and a willingness to push beyond our comfort zones, but the rewards are immeasurable. As we strengthen our inner self, we develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks. We become less reactive to external events, less swayed by the opinions of others. This doesn't mean suppressing our emotions or becoming unfeeling. It's about learning to observe them, to understand their root causes, and to choose our responses with wisdom and clarity. Remember, the world can only take from you what you allow it to take. By strengthening your inner self, you build an unbreakable spirit, one that can weather any storm. Chapter 3. Taking responsibility for what we can control. One of the most liberating principles of Stoicism is recognizing that much of life is beyond our control. We can't control the weather, the economy, or the actions of others, but we can control our thoughts, actions, and responses. It's about focusing our energy where it matters most. Accept what we cannot change and take responsibility for what we can. Like a farmer who can't control the weather but can prepare his fields. Identify what is within our influence and direct our efforts there. By focusing on what we can control, we reduce anxiety and find peace. Chapter 4. Finding meaning in adversity. Adversity, the Stoics believed, is not something to be feared or avoided, but rather an opportunity for growth and learning. It's in the crucible of hardship that our character is forged, our resilience tested. This doesn't mean we should seek out suffering or pretend that it's not painful. Even in the darkest of times, there are lessons to be learned, strengths to be discovered. Think of a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal must be heated, hammered, and cooled. It's a brutal process, but it gives the sword its strength. Similarly, adversity can refine us, making us stronger and wiser. Chapter 5. Cultivating Wisdom and Virtue. At the heart of Stoicism lies the pursuit of wisdom and virtue. These are not abstract ideals, but practical tools for navigating life's complexities. Wisdom, for the Stoics, is about understanding the true nature of things, seeing the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. It's about making sound judgments, choosing our actions with care, and living in accordance with reason and logic. Virtue, on the other hand, is about living in alignment with our highest selves. It's about cultivating qualities like courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom, and expressing them in our daily lives. Think of wisdom as the compass that guides us and virtue as the engine that propels us forward. Together, they provide a roadmap for a life well lived. Cultivating wisdom and virtue is a lifelong journey. It requires constant self-reflection, a willingness to learn from our mistakes, and a commitment to living in accordance with our values. But the rewards are immeasurable. As we grow in wisdom and virtue, we develop a sense of inner peace, a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Chapter 6. The Art of Stillness. In a world that's constantly demanding our attention, the Stoics recognize the importance of stillness, of carving out time for quiet reflection and introspection. This doesn't necessarily mean meditating for hours on end, although that can be beneficial. It's about finding moments throughout the day to disconnect from the noise and reconnect with ourselves. It could be as simple as taking a walk in nature, spending a few minutes in silence each morning, or simply putting down our phones and being present in the moment. These moments of stillness allow us to clear the mental clutter, to quiet the incessant chatter of our minds, and to reconnect with our inner wisdom. Think of it like pressing the pause button on a busy day. It gives us a chance to catch our breath, to reassess our priorities, and to approach our challenges with renewed clarity. In a world that's constantly trying to distract us, the art of stillness is a radical act of self-care. It's a way to reclaim our time, our energy, and our attention, and to live more intentionally. Chapter 7. The Soul Made Whole. For the Stoics, true happiness, or what they called eudaimonia, wasn't about fleeting pleasures or external achievements. It was about living in accordance with nature, aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with reason and virtue. This alignment, this inner harmony, is what they believed led to a soul made whole, a life of meaning and purpose. Imagine a perfectly tuned instrument. When all the strings are in harmony, it produces a beautiful sound. Similarly, when our inner world is in alignment with our outer world, when we live in accordance with our values, we experience a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. This doesn't mean we'll never face challenges or experience negative emotions. It means that we'll have the inner resources, the resilience and wisdom, to navigate them with grace and equanimity. The Stoic path is not about seeking a life devoid of difficulty. It's about cultivating the inner strength, the wisdom, and the virtue to face life's challenges with courage and integrity. It's about living a life that is meaningful, purposeful, and fulfilling regardless of our circumstances. Chapter 8. Memento Mori, Remember Death. The Stoics believed that reflecting on death was a powerful tool for living a better life. Memento Mori, Remember Death. Remembering our mortality helps us prioritize what truly matters. It reminds us that our time is finite and precious. By reflecting on death, we gain a deeper appreciation for life. We learn to cherish each moment and live with gratitude. Outro: Living a life of strength and resilience. Life is full of challenges, but it's also full of beauty, joy, and meaning. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, we can equip ourselves with the tools to navigate both the highs and lows with grace and resilience. Remember, adversity does not define us. Our response to it does. By choosing to focus on what we can control, by cultivating wisdom and virtue, and by living in accordance with nature, we can find strength in the face of adversity and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoic wisdom. May these principles guide you on your own journey towards a life of strength, resilience, and inner peace.